With the Crimson Isles out, there are insane money-making methods on the bazaar using these new items. I've given the markets a few days to calm down before making this video because, well, if I did it instantly, then all of it would be useless the day after I posted it, because, as we all know, right after updates, the markets tend to freak out a little bit as players decide what is valuable. But now we sort of know what's going on, or at least I can try to figure out what's going on, so let's talk about that in today's video. By the way, subscribe because this took a little bit of a while to come up with all of these flips and look at why they're happening as well. So let's start off with 3 items that you can craft and make a ton of money from. First is going to be in Combat and then Inferno Demon Lord, and that is called Amalgamated Crimsonite. If you click into that, as you can see, it is really painful to craft. If we look at the recipe, it is not really a fast craft to do, as it's got 40 mycelium, 40 red sand, enchanted magma cream, enchanted glowstone dust, enchanted blaze powder, and enchanted netherwort. Not a simple craft, but it has insane margins right now. So if you are willing to put the effort into crafting it, you can make a ton of coins. The margins are currently very high, and I suspect they'll stay high until it gets added to auto-craft, because it takes so long and it's so painful to craft. So unless you're set up there with like a station to craft, so I would clear out your inventory of all the stuff, just get the right amount of materials, and then craft it from there, and you can be making a lot of profit crafting it for the people who are too lazy to do it for themselves. Next is in mining, and that's sulfur and enchanted sulfur cubes. There's very few of these orders actually out there, so you can only craft a few of these per hour. And the resources are kind of hard to come by, but if you can get enough enchanted sulfur to craft enchanted sulfur cube, the margins are insane. Last time I checked, they were around like 6 million coin margin on the craft, which is, I mean, that's incredible. So even at like 4 per hour, that's still like 24 million coins per hour, and you could probably get away with a few more than that too. Next up is actually in farming, in the chicken and feather, and then Omega Enchanted Egg. This is crafted using 9 super enchanted eggs, and has very good margins. This is still a pretty simple craft, but it is a high value item right now, and a lot of orders are going through. And I suspect it'll stay that way at least for a while, so this is a good flip. Next up, there are some items that you don't even need to craft, and you can just flip yourself. First one of these is going to be back to combat. The first one of these is actually a reforged stone, now called a power stone, I guess. That is going to be Magma Urchin. As you can see, there is insane margin right here. Almost a 2 million coin margin. Demand for this reforge is also pretty high, as it's quite good, and I highly recommend you get in on creating some buy orders, then flipping them to sell orders. It really takes little time, and you can be making a lot of coins. This is really true across the board with power stones right now. Also with the Luxurious Spool, the Dark Orb, and the Dragon Claw. All fantastic margins on the bazaar right now. And next up is some items that, through this update, actually became less valuable on the bazaar than they are at the NPC. Today's video is sponsored by Coda.io. With Coda, all of your documents and spreadsheets can live together in one place, and you know for Hypixel Skyblock that I've made a lot of spreadsheets, including one that I made specifically for this video called the Hypixel Skyblock Guide. So this spreadsheet shows you all of the things that you want to do as an early game Hypixel Skyblock player using Coda's tool. It allowed me to create this simple and intuitive view where you can drag tasks from not started to on the way to finished, and even click into them to get more information about how to do them. For example, if you want to install Hypixel Skyblock mods, you can click into it and find a YouTube video and tutorial on how to install Hypixel Skyblock mods, along with all of the links that you'll need. And if you don't want to use mine, there is a ton of other templates out there for you to use, including a ton of different gaming templates for a wide variety of different games, including this CSGO one, which helps you find the perfect mouse sensitivity and has a bunch of different tools in it to help optimize exactly what you want to do. You could build one like this for any game that you're interested in using Coda, and it's a really helpful tool to be able to do that without having to learn how to actually code, because it's all drag and drop. There's also an Animal Crossing guide where someone put together all of the different Animal Crossing art pieces into an interactive Coda project. And it's not just limited to gaming. In fact, there's even more templates out there for people that want to get stuff done. For example, if you are a student that watches my videos, you could use a Coda project to track all of your assignments, like this assignment tracker right here. It's very helpful in having you have a simple view to have all of your assignments in one place, and that is another use that I would really recommend out of Coda, because it's really, really helpful. And if you subscribe using the link down in the description, you could get $10 for signing up for Coda today. That is using the link down in the description to get $10 credit for signing up. and I highly recommend you try it out. Let me know what you think. Thank you again, Coda, and let's get back to the video. So you can buy them from the bazaar and then resell them right over at the NPC right there for less than you bought them for, which is pretty crazy. There's always been a few items like this, but these items are much better. So the mushroom cow is added in this update, and it drops mushrooms from all crops and boosts mushroom minion production. This completely crashed the price of mushrooms, which is bad to anyone that was really addicted to mushroom farming. And it is now profitable to buy them from the bazaar by going over to farming mushrooms and then getting red, brown, or even the red mushroom blocks. Which, by the way, you know there's a price problem when currently the buy orders for red mushroom blocks are 2.3 coins. And red mushrooms is 2.2 coins, when this costs 9 of these to craft. Yeah, slight problem there. So you can be buying it off of the bazaar and then reselling it to the NPC for a pretty decent profit. Money can also be made by craft flipping those blocks, but right now there's a lot of better craft flips and margin flips because of how shocking this update has been. So if you want something that's a little more reliable and it will be much faster, so if you're more of a beginning player, then that is a good flip, but otherwise I would stick to the newer, higher margin items. If you want more bazaar flips, click the button on screen now, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Goodbye, subscribe!